Welcome back, everyone. Today we're going to be upcycling a pair of jeans into a skirt. We're also going to be turning the extra fabric into cargo pockets that you can detach and use as a shoulder bag. This is a super easy upcycle project, so if you are new to sewing, you should have no problem following the easy step-by-step tutorial. With all that being said, let's get started. Getting started with supplies, you'll need one pair of pants, and you can use any style of pants for this project. I'll be using a wide leg fit. This is going to give me a little bit more fabric to work with, but it's not necessary. But anyways, moving on to construction, the first thing we're going to do is measure down 2 to 4 inches from the center seam on the inseam. Mark that point with chalk and cut off both of the pant legs. And the overall goal is to get as much material out of the pant legs as possible so we can take that fabric and turn it into pockets, which we'll be making the pockets in later steps, so for the moment we can place the pant legs off to the side. Now moving back to the top section, we're going to go back to the inseam and de-thread the remaining portion. We'll be restitching the seam in later steps, so be careful not to rip it. Next, we're going to de-thread the center seam to the bottom of the fly. The goal is to de-thread high enough so that way when you overlap the two sides, the entire front panel sits flat. Once you have that entire front panel sitting flat, we're going to flip it around to the back side and repeat the process. We're going to de-thread the center seam to the center of the pockets. And you may need to de-thread higher depending on the style of pants you're using, but I would start at the center of the pocket. A way to test it is to overlap the two sides, and if the back panel sits flat, you're good to go. In this next step, we're actually going to be reusing the seams, so with the sides overlapped and the back panel sitting flat, place a few pins, and then we're going to stitch directly in the factory stitch path. My jeans have a double stitch seam, so I'm going to be adding a stitch in each path. Before you start sewing, flip it over to the front side and do the same exact thing. Overlap the two sides to make sure the front panel is sitting flat, place a few pins, and then stitch directly in the factory stitch paths. I also recommend matching your thread color to what's already on the jeans, so that way everything blends a little bit better. And that's really all it takes to turn a pair of jeans into a skirt. From here, we can start adding on different features to make it custom. The first thing we're going to do is clean up the bottom edge, and there's a few different ways you can do this. You can cut it on an angle, a curve, straight across, and you can also cut it to any height you would like. I'm keeping mine a little bit longer to start because we can always trim it down in later steps. So grab a pair of scissors and clean up the bottom edge. We're also going to clean up the inside by cutting right up against the seam. Next, we're going to be finishing off the bottom edge, and since I want it to be a raw edge, there's not a lot you have to do, but if you're looking for a cleaner look, then all you have to do is hem the bottom edge. To do this, you just fold that edge inward 2 times so the raw edge is hidden and place a stitch directly on top. Either way works great, whether you want a clean edge or a raw edge. It really comes down to style and preference. But we're going to be doing something a little bit different for this video. We'll be adding webbing along that bottom edge. This is a 1.5 inch webbing, but feel free to switch it up and use any size. Normally I'd run it right up against the bottom edge, but for this one I'm going to leave about a 1 inch gap. The reason I'm doing this is that over time that bottom edge is going to fray, and the more you leave down there, the bigger that fray is going to be. The webbing will also stop the fray, so if you don't want that big fray area, you should move the webbing closer to the bottom edge. Once you've found the correct position, roll the webbing end over so it's a clean end. Then we're going to add a top stitch on each side of the webbing. And I'm trying to place my stitch as close to the outside edge of the webbing as possible. I also noticed the thinner the webbing, the better it turns out because it's more flexible and it's going to flow with the actual skirt, so keep that in mind when you're picking out your webbing. Another thing you can do is snip the bottom edge. This is going to kind of speed up the fraying process, but by far the best technique is to wash it and dry it a few times, and I'll be doing this at the end to show you the difference. Other than that, the skirt portion is complete, so for the moment we can place it off to the side and grab both of the pant legs that we cut in the first step. The first thing we're going to do is separate both of the pant legs with the front side facing up. On this pair of pants, the inseam has a double stitch seam, and I'm actually going to be utilizing that to create a strap in future steps. So what I'm going to do is remove that seam from both pant legs, and I'm cutting through both layers and about a 1/2 inch away from the seam. We're going to be making the strap in later steps, so for the moment we can place these 2 strips off to the side. Now we can grab both of the pant legs, place the wrong sides together, and lay them out flat. Make sure you have the correct panels lined up with one another so it's sitting symmetrical. Then we're going to move to the bottom edge and cut out the flap for our cargo pocket. I'll be utilizing the hem as a flap, and I'll be cutting mine about 3 inches tall. Feel free to switch up the size and make it taller or shorter. If you have a ton of fabric to work with, you might want to cut it taller because then you can always trim it up in later steps. And we don't need the flat panel so later in the project, so we can place them off to the side. Now we can move back up to the top where there's more fabric to work with, and we're going to cut out the front panel of the cargo pocket. I'm trying to cut mine as large as possible on one side of the panel. And keep in mind we need 4 total, so you don't want to cut it too large. And the shape doesn't have to be a perfect square or a rectangle because we can always trim it up in later steps. As long as you're able to cut 4 out of one side of the leg panel, you're good to go. And for the moment we can place these off to the side. The last thing we need to cut out are the side panels, and these are going to vary based on the depth of pocket you want to make. Just like with the front panel, I'm going to cut mine a little bit wider and then trim them down in later steps. So I'll be cutting directly down the center and then right along the side seam. This will give us a total of 4 side seams. In the end, we only need 2, but unfortunately these are not long enough to make it all the way around the outside edge of the front pocket. So what we're going to be doing is sewing them together to make 2 long strips. Place the right sides together and we're going to stitch just one of the sides at a 1/4 1/4" seam allowance. After sewing, open them up so the right side is facing up, then grab 2 of your front panels. And there's a few different ways we can attach the side panels. I actually want the raw edges to be exposed on the outside edge of the pocket, so what I'm going to do is flip the front panel so the wrong side is facing up, grab one of the side panels, and place the wrong sides together. Remember, we're only lining up the bottom and side edges. The strips I sewn together are way too long, so what I'm going to do is trim them up so I have about 4 inches hanging past the top edge. I still want a little bit of fabric to work with, and we can always trim that in later steps. From here, we're going to stitch the outside edge at a 1/4" seam allowance. With this style of pocket, I like to sew the bottom first, and then I sew the sides after the bottom. Now that the front panel is attached, I can trim the side panels flush with the top edge. Flip the pockets to the opposite side, grab the remaining 2 front panels, and we're going to do the same exact thing. Place the front panel on the side panel with wrong sides together, lining up the outside edge. Place a few pins, and just like in the previous step, we're going to sew the bottom first, and then both of the side edges. And after sewing, double check all the layers, make sure everything is looking good. If everything checks out, we can grab the flat panel that we cut in previous steps. You should have 2 of these, and they're probably going to be wider than the actual pocket. Line the flap up with the center of the pocket and trim the outside edges. Open up the pocket and locate the back edge. Line up the back edge of the flap and the back edge of the pocket with wrong sides together. If the flat panel is a little long, that's totally fine. You can trim it after sewing. Once you have all the layers lined up, place a few pins, then take it to your sewing machine and stitch that top edge at a 1/4" seam allowance. And the reason I'm sewing it this way is because I want those raw edges to be exposed to really tie everything together. If you don't want the raw edges exposed, then you can place the right sides together. The next thing we have to do is add buttons to the flap, and I'm going to be adding magnetic snaps, but feel free to use any style snap you would like. Cut the opening for your snap using a punch or scissors. Feed the snap through the opening from the wrong side. Add the button to the right side. And to secure it down, I'll be using a hammer die. Place the base on the wrong side and hammer it down from the right side. These snaps have 2 halves, so we're going to mark where the first snap falls on the pocket side. And repeat the process. Cut your opening, feed the snap through the opening, add your button, and hammer it down. If you're looking to speed up this process, I recommend using a press or pliers to install your grommets. Now that you have 1 installed, go ahead and repeat this process for the remaining 3. Like I said previously, you can use any style of snap button for the flap, or you can skip adding snap buttons on the flap altogether. I'll be adding one more small detail on the flap. It's super simple and looks really cool. I'll be using the webbing I cut from previous steps, taking a 10-inch strip, folding it in half, and placing it under the flap. You don't want the raw edge of the webbing exposed, so you're going to fold it under once on both sides. Also, feel free to make adjustments to the length if you don't like it that long. Once you have everything lined up, take it to the sewing machine and tack stitch it down. This stitch will be exposed, so I recommend matching it with the thread color that you used in previous steps. This is really just a simple design feature. Feel free to skip it if you don't like the look. But anyways, moving on, slide the pockets to the side and grab the skirt. In this step, we're going to be figuring out the placement for the pockets, and realistically, you can place them anywhere along the skirt. I'll be placing mine on both sides like standard cargo pockets, and you can also place them at any height. As you can see, my pockets hang past the bottom edge. This is because I've made my pockets larger. I purposely had this in mind when I was creating the pockets, but you can move the pockets all the way up so they're not hanging past the bottom edge. Because we're not actually going to be sewing these on, we're going to be connecting them with magnet snaps. So this will give you the ability to put the pocket anywhere on the skirt. Once you figured out the position, then you want to figure out the best placement for your magnets on the pocket. For mine, I'll be placing the magnets in the corners and the center side. This will keep the pocket locked to the skirt and prevent it from flapping around. Flip the skirt over to the back side and repeat the process on the opposite side of the pocket. If your pockets cross over the back pocket, make sure you put the magnet only through the pocket layer so you don't close the pocket shut. I'm also going to be placing a magnet center top. This is not necessary, but I really want these pockets to lock down. I'm going to be using the same magnet snaps. They're installed the same way that we did in previous steps, so I'm going to jump to them already installed. As you can see, I did 3 along the top and 2 on the sides. The magnets I used are pretty strong, so I probably could have went with less, but it really depends on the strength of the magnets you're using. Now, if you want, you can keep the skirt like this and just have detachable pockets, but I want to take it one step further and turn these pockets into a shoulder bag. The easiest way to do that is to add eyelets in the corners. This will give us an area to clip our strap to. I'll be using 8mm eyelets. Feel free to switch it up and use bigger eyelets if you're using a bigger clip. The first thing we're going to do is punch out the openings for each one of our eyelets. Feed the eyelet through the opening from the right side and add the backing on the back. To secure it down, I'll be using a hammer die. It's super easy to use. All you have to do is place a base on the right side and hammer it down from the back. And you don't need a ton of force or else you're going to bend the eyelet. Go ahead and repeat this step for the rest of your eyelets. Now that we have all the eyelets in and the magnets in, the skirt section of this project is complete. The last thing we need to do is make the strap. So grab the double stitch seams that we cut from the pant legs in previous steps. Open up the panels with right sides facing up, then place the right sides together. Move to the side opposite of the hem, and we're going to stitch that side at a 1/4" seam allowance and then add a top stitch. Again, we're going to lay the panel out flat with right sides facing up. Fold the panel in half so the wrong sides are together and the double stitch seam is facing up. I want the raw edge exposed, so what I'm going to do is place a stitch right next to the double stitch seam on the raw edge side. This will seal the layers together, creating a strap, and also keep the raw edge exposed. If you don't like the look of the denim strap, then you can always swap it out for webbing. To finish the strap off, you'll need 1 strap slider and 2 lobster clasps. Remember to match the width of your hardware to the width of your strap. Start by sliding the strap adjuster around about 1 to 2 feet, add one of your lobster clasps to the same side, feed the strap end back through the strap adjuster, wrap it around the center bar from the bottom side, pull the end out about 2 to 4 inches and pin it down. Move to the opposite end of the strap, feed your second lobster clasp on the end, fold it over once and pin it down. With both ends pinned, we're going to take it to the sewing machine and add a tack stitch. And just like that, your adjustable strap is complete. The last thing we need to do is add it to the skirt, and I just fed it through the belt loops and clipped it to the pockets. Along with adding the strap, I also added branding. I used leather strips added with double-sided rivets. If you don't like this look, you can always screen print, embroidery, or use woven tags. But the cool thing about this design, you can pull the strap out of the belt loops and use the cargo pockets as a shoulder bag. And you can either use one pocket or combine the two pockets for a bigger bag. The last thing I'm going to do is quickly throw it through the wash cycle so you can see what the edges look like after one wash. As you can see, it looks a little bit more distressed and not so perfectly cut with scissors. And the more you wash it, the fluffier those edges are going to get. But anyways, that's going to do it for this upcycle project. I hope you picked up a few sewing techniques that you can use in your other projects. And there you have it. Your upcycled skirt is complete. Hopefully yours turned out as good as mine did. And there's so many different looks you can do with just this one design. You can wear one shoulder bag. You can reposition the cargo pockets. You can connect the strap to the belt loops and wear it kind of like overalls. And again, this upcycle project works with any style of pants, so you can really switch up the look by picking a different pair of pants. But like always, I love to see what you come up with, so tag me on Instagram at Properfit Clothing. And until then, I'm going to keep the videos coming at you, so I'll see you next time.